LisaBug Yoga with Purpose. And this is the last class in the month of May. It's hard to believe already, but we'll be moving into June. So good morning, everyone. Welcome to LisaBug Yoga with Purpose. Our purpose today is to stretch the hip flexors right here in front. And there's a couple of different muscles. So we have the psoas that lifts our knee up. So that's the hip flexor. It flexes the hip. But down the outside of our leg is the IT band, the iliotibial band. It attaches down here on the tibia and comes up on the ilium, which is the hip. And that muscle takes our leg out to the side. And so we have hip flexion, we have abduction, and then when we go back with our leg, all of this stretches out. So what we want to do is stretch these two areas, strengthen the glute and the outer thigh. So what I have today, I have a small ball, I have a yoga block, a strap, a band to go around the legs, which is kind of a heavy size, a chair, and we're going to do various exercises to first warm up this area, and then we'll be stretching as well. So I'd like for you to stand in mountain pose, and we're going to do our body wave, but nice and slow. So I want you to bend your knees, and then come up, and just stretch. You can lift up on the toes if you want, but I'm going to make this more of a stretch. And when you stretch, tighten the muscles of your bum and push your hips forward a little bit. Not a lot, because I don't want this to be a big back bend, but I just want you to open up this area of the hips here. Let's do 3 more. Push the hips forward. Good. And 2. And up. 1 more. And up. Okay, at the beginning of a sun salutation, we have a stretch, we have a swan dive into a forward fold. So let's start here. Inhale, stretch up. You can look up to your hands if you'd like. Exhale, soften your knees and fold down. Now, not too deep, this first one. And we're just going to flow here. So inhale and exhale, come down. I'm going to turn to the side for a couple so that you can see. I have a nice flat neutral back as I come down. Hands can support on your shins, or I also have a little bit of a stool in front of me, so you can bring your hands down and place them on a chair or a stool. If you're pretty flexible, you can bring your hands all the way down to the floor, bending your knees as much as you need to here. And I just want you to explore what you're feeling. When I'm stretching down, I feel like my left side is really tight. My right side, I don't feel too much. But I feel my left hamstring, my left glute, the left side of my back. And let's breathe 3 more repetitions. Great job, 2 more. Such a basic move, but so important. Stretching the posterior chain. And 1 more time. Big deep breath. And then let's finish by coming all the way up, last reach. And just let your hands float down next to the sides of the body. Now, if you need your hands on a wall for this next movement, have that available for a little bit of balance. And all we're going to do is take our right foot and tap it back just a little bit. So notice that I have this right hip flexor is open. It's not a big step back, it's a little tap. And then come in, take your left foot back, and come in. So as you alternate these, when you tap, think of tightening your bum muscle, and then step in, tighten, and step in. So this is called hip extension. We're extending the hip back beyond neutral. We're activating our glute in order to do that. And then we're stretching and releasing the front of the hip, the psoas. Let's do 2 more on each leg. Look straight forward so you have really good posture. Little slight hesitation between each one. 1 more each side. And then back to neutral. Now, sometimes when we do that, our lower back feels a little compression. So I want to cycle that with our forward fold. So take a nice big inhale, stretch. Exhale, come down. Inhale, back up. Exhale, you can put your hands on a wall. Tap your right foot back, hold. Bring it in. Left foot back, hold. Bring it in. 1 more each side. Right foot back, hold. Tighten your bum muscle. Bring it in. Left foot back, hold. Bring it in. Let's inhale, sweep up, stretch. Exhale that forward fold so you're releasing any compression in your lower back. Inhale, back up. Exhale, hands on a wall if you need. Right foot back, hold. Step in, left foot back, hold. Step in, 1 more each side. Right foot back, hold. And left foot back, hold. Just check in on your spine. We'll finish with a forward fold. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, come all the way down. We'll hold this one a few breaths. You can support here. You can grab opposite elbows, take a little ragdoll, maybe sway side to side. Now, why we're maybe feeling a little compression in the lower back when we do that little step back is because our hip flexors attach to the lower back. So when we stretch them, it slightly stretches against the attachment of that muscle. Okay, let's inhale back up. Reach. Press your palms together. Exhale. Now, if you'd like to use a little chair or a wall here, I've got a stool right in front of me. I'm going to set my hands down on the stool and now take a big step back with my right foot and stretch your calf muscle. Now, you don't have to use a stool. You can find your balance and hold here for sure. And we're going to lift the back heel up and push it down 5 times. Lift up, press it down. Now tighten this right glute. So you're opening up the hip flexor. We're going through plantar flexion and dorsiflexion of the ankle and stretching the calf. 1 more, lift up, push the heel down. Now I'm going to use the stool to place my right hand on and rotate out into a twist. So whatever you have at home to help you with balance here is great. Your left hand can go on your hip, can wrap behind your back, but feel the stretch in the front of your right hip flexor. Still pushing down into your right heel, feel that stretch. Then come out of the twist and step your back foot forward and pause. Ooh, that felt really great. Okay, we're going to step the left foot way back. And my foot is parallel, pressing the heel into the floor. Lift up on the ball of the foot and push down 5 times. Inhale, Exhale. 3, and down. 2. One more. Hold that heel down. My left hand's going to support me as I twist open to the right. Ooh. Wherever you want to place that arm, just keep pulling your right shoulder blade back. Tighten your left glute, push into your left heel. Look way up over the right shoulder. And then inhale. Exhale, hand comes back to the front. Step forward and hold. So we'll make this into a flow. I'm going to use the chair first, or the stool. So we'll inhale, stretch up. Exhale, hands down. Step the right foot back. Push into the heel. Lift the left arm up into a twist. Lower the hand down and step forward. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, hands down. Step the left foot back. Twist to the right. Reach the hand down. Step forward. Back to neutral. So I'll show you the option without the stool, coming all the way down to the floor as an option if you'd like to. So stretch up. Inhale. Exhale, hands down. Step your right foot way back. Twist open to the left. Bring the hand down. Step the right foot in. Stand up and stretch. Exhale, hands down. Step the left foot way back. Twist to the right. Hand down, step the back foot in, and just stand up. So you've got many options with what you want to use for a prop. Let's do 2 more sets on each side. I'm going to go ahead and use my stool. It's a long way down to the ground. Let's inhale, stretch. Exhale, hands down. Step the right foot back. Twist left. And lower the hand, step forward. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, hands down. Step the left foot way back. Twist to the right. And lower the hand, step the back foot in. 1 more on each side. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, hands down. Step your right foot way back. Twist to the left. Tighten your right glute. Lower the hand, step forward. Last time, inhale. Exhale, hands down. Left foot steps back. Twist open to the right, stretch. And lower the hand and step in. Great job. I'm going to bring my stool in a little bit closer. Using it as a prop or a chair, we're going to do some more hip extension, like a standing bird dog. So taking your hands down, bend your knees just a little bit and send your right leg back. Now I want you to square your hips off so that you're not lifting this hip up like this. It's all square. Straighten your leg and lift up and part way down. So each time you lift up, you're tightening the glute. You're creating more space in front of the hip. Relax through your shoulders. If you want to take your left hand forward, you can do this in bird dog. You could also do it on your hands and knees, absolutely, for sure. 4 more lifts. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hand and knee come down. Take a break and stand up. Standing camel. Take your fists and put them right back here on your sacrum. Roll your shoulder blades together. Lift your heart and push your hips forward. Tighten both glutes. So it's just a little bit of a standing back bend, but you have some support here on your sacrum and your hips. One more breath. And exhale, come back up. Set your hands down to the chair, stool, or wall. Take your left leg straight back. And we lift that leg, squeeze the bum, and lower it just a little. Now I want to be sure that you're not moving your lumbar spine. So we're not letting any pelvic rocking happen. We're just lifting the leg bone up. We can reach the right arm forward. Head should be really neutral. Try to hesitate and pause at the top of each one of these leg raises. 5, 4, standing knees just a little bit bent. 3, 2, 1. Lower that leg back down. Let's take our standing camel. Make your fists, put them right on the sides of your sacrum. Pull your shoulder blades together. Open up your heart. Squeeze both glutes and push your hips forward. Breathe. Abdominals nice and engaged. Now, if we were to be doing this on our tummy, it would be like almost like a cobra pose in a way, a little back bend. So we're actually going to move into cobra. So make sure your mat is all clear. Move my stool back out of the way. And we are going to take that nice big inhale, stretch up. Exhale, swan dive, bringing your hands all the way down to the floor, and then walk your feet back to come all the way down onto your belly. And do whatever you need to get there. Take your time. You're laying on your stomach, your legs are nice and long, and we can make a little pillow for our forehead by crossing our hands and just setting our head straight down. So make sure this feels okay for your body. Make any adjustments. And take a couple of breaths here. I want you to gently squeeze your glutes so that you kind of push the front of your hip bones down into the floor and then release them. And squeeze your glutes and release. One more time. Squeeze the glutes, push the hips down and release. Then take your hands right underneath your shoulders. Without using your arms too much, lift your chest up a little bit off the floor. This is our cobra pose. And then lower your chest back down. Spinal extension. Lift the chest up and lower down. Now, as we lift, squeeze your glutes. Push the hips down into the floor. Come up and down. Just 2 more. Lift, up, and down. One more time. Back extension. Lift, and lower down. Carefully press yourself up to your knees, and then take a stretch back in a child's pose or a cat stretch, just to release any compression in your lower back. Breathe, breathe. And then we will come into a little plank. So if you need to stand back up, if you're doing a wall plank or what have you, take your time to come up, or to a countertop, where we're staying on the mat onto either our hands or our elbows. So get yourself into position for a 1-minute plank. So find the place that feels good for you and breathe through it. we have been really working very hard on our planks, working up in time. On Tuesday, we did 4 rounds of 1 minute of planking, so we've been really getting strong through holding our planks, stabilization of the core muscles, working on breathing through it, good head position, good spinal alignment, trying different variations, anywhere from bird dog to side plank, all of those wonderful positions. So let's hold here. We have got 20 seconds. Maybe use that ujjayi breath, that whisper ocean breath in the back of the throat. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a break. Maybe another child's pose, any other stretch that you'd like. And then we are going to come to a side lying position. And your option, if you'd like, is to place your heavy strap around the legs. So I'll give you a chance to get there. But you can do all of these exercises without the band for sure. They're going to be challenging enough without that extra workload. Okay, we'll be laying on our sides. If you need a little pillow there, that'll be great. And I have the band around the upper thighs, just above the knees. So I want you to stack your hips. You have about a 90-degree flexion at the hips as well as at your knees. We're going to come into clamshell, which is a really important exercise to strengthen the medial glute and eventually helps us to release tension in a muscle called the TFL right here, tensor fascia lata. Our feet stay together and we open the knees out any amount. Doesn't have to be big. I want you to feel the muscular work more than I want you to feel range of motion in the widening of your hips. Let's do 3 and 2 and 1. Great job. Now extend that top leg out to straight. And I want you to push your leg back and then back to neutral. So remember when we were standing up and we tapped a foot back behind us? This is the same movement, really. Hip extension. I'm not moving my pelvis at all. It's really solid. I'm just squeezing the glute and pressing the leg back. Good. A little hesitation. Pause on each one. 4 and 3. Good. Even without the band, you'll feel these 2 and 1. Now keep the leg extended. Turn the toe down so your heel is rotating toward the ceiling and lift. It can be small. You'll feel it right out here. Thigh is rotated inward. Lifting with your heel first. 6, 5. Ooh, start to feel it. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let your legs come back together. I'm going to give you 2 options for a stretch. If you'd like a twist, you're just going to roll the chest open, keeping your knees together, take a twist. Or your other option is to reach for this ankle and stretch your quad and your hip flexor. So I'm going to count just a minute here on my timer for you to do the stretch that works best for you. And breathe. I want to do the twist, but I know I need to do this one. The problem is getting a hold of my ankle. So sometimes you have to use a yoga strap in order to get your ankle, depending on the range of motion of your knees. You've got 30 seconds to go. So if you want, you could do the other stretch. I think I'll do that for 30 seconds. Roll back into the twist. Both are good stretches. Both are beneficial. Couple more breaths. Okay, so take your time to come onto the other side for that sequence of exercises, with or without the band. First one is our clamshell. So check your 90-90 position here, knees and hips. Keep your feet together. Push out and down. Really tighten this medial glute, deep external rotators of the hip. When you lift the leg, try not to rock backward. So you're keeping, imagine there's a wall right behind your back and you can't move away from the wall or back toward the wall. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Ooh. Okay, the leg extends straight. We're going to push back. And I don't want it to be so big that you feel your back is arching. I just want you to feel your glute connect and the front of your hip open. So we're getting 2 benefits here. Actually 3, really. We're strengthening the back of the glute when we push back. We're stretching the front of the hip, but we're having to keep our leg up in the air, which is working the outside of the hip. Let's get 4 more. Push back, 4. Good. Abs engaged. 3. Neck and shoulder relaxed. 2. And 1. Then we turn the toes down. So we're rotating the thigh inward, kind of bringing our knee down toward the floor, and we lift. Oh my goodness, this is the one. Really gets that medial glute area. Looking for about 10 reps. 4. Keep rotating the thigh in. 5. If you need a break, take it and come back into the work. 7, 8. It's hard to go slow, isn't it? 9 and 10. Relax and stack the knees. You have 2 selections for your stretches. You can open back into a twist or catch the ankle and stretch the quad and the hip flexor. 1 minute, and I'll let you know when we're halfway through, in case you want to change it. Or you can do a completely different stretch. Absolutely. Your body might be telling you exactly what you need. Slow breaths, deep breaths, complete breaths. Okay, that's 30 seconds. I'm going to hit the twist now. Ah. So continue to hold your stretch, but our next position that we're going to go to will we'll be laying on our back. You'll need either your small ball or your yoga block between the knees. So take your time to roll to your back. You can keep the band around your thighs too if you'd like as well. So one of the best exercises to strengthen the glute and to stretch the hip flexor is bridging. So I want you to bring either your yoga block or your ball between your knees and give it just a small little squeeze in. Bring your knees to bend about 90 degrees, press into your entire feet, and lift the hips up into bridge and come down. Move that blanket there. And lift and lower. We've been having some discussion about bridges. How high do we have to come up? And if you're just working strengthening of the glutes, you don't have to come up very high, because as soon as you start to lift, those muscles activate and they work. But if your goal is to stretch the front of your hips, then you have to come up a little bit higher to elongate these muscles right here. Now, it might be driven by inability to do either one of those things, the lack of strength to come up very high or the lack of flexibility. So the bottom line is just to go to wherever you can comfortably lift. And I want to make sure you're not feeling it in your lower back. Let's do 2 more bridges. And 1 more. And come down. Good. If you'd like, you can hug the knees into the chest. Sometimes that feels nice after doing bridging. Rocking a little side to side, so you can take any compression out of your lower back. Okay, so let's remove the ball using just the strap around the thighs. Lift up into your bridge and hold. And then we're going to do 10 presses outward into the band. 1 and 2. You're pressing equally with both legs. 3, 4. This can be done with a pretty tight band, a pretty heavy one. 5. Keep those hips up. 6, 7, 8. A little hesitation on each one. 9 and 10. And come down. Good. Let's hug the knees back into the chest again. And as you do, you can slip your band up and over. Just slide it off. Just a nice stretch here. So now we're going to do a supported bridge. So I like the block for this one. So what I'm going to do is lift my hips up into a bridge and slide the block underneath my pelvis. Now it's not underneath my lower back. That's completely free. It's underneath your entire pelvis, the sacrum area. And then we're going to slide the right leg out along the mat and relax it there. And you should feel a stretch in your hip flexor there. So if this feels like a pretty intense stretch, you're going to stay just as you are. To make it a little bit more challenging, you can pick up the left knee and kind of hold either behind the leg or over the knee. And this is going to slightly tip the pelvis to the posterior. And that will help to stretch your hip flexor a little bit more. And then your third option would be to add a hamstring stretch on the left leg. Got my yoga strap here. We could extend that foot up towards the ceiling. Oh, this is the one my body needs for sure. So we have right hip flexor, relaxing our psoas, and our left hip or hamstring, depending on which stretch we're doing. And let's come back to our breathing, slow inhales and exhales. And if there's any other variations for you that are going to feel better, please take those with this stretch. My primary goal is this right hip flexor. And we're here another 20 seconds. And if the block under the hip just doesn't feel right for you, slide it out. You can do this stretch just flat onto the floor with your hips. All right, that's your 20 seconds. Let's bend the knee. If you've got the yoga strap, release it and come back to both feet flat on the floor. Take your time. If you need to adjust where the block is under your pelvis, make sure it feels right. Slide the left leg out and relax the left hip flexor. And then you can decide where to go from there. Maybe bringing this knee up or using your yoga strap and stretching the hamstring. Oh yes, this is what the doctor ordered. And we're holding for a good minute here. Or if you're watching later on YouTube, hit the pause button, hold it even longer. And just try to soften everything. Sometimes when we're stretching, we have a tendency to tighten something up, to kind of grip. Maybe it's just our eyebrows or something. We're just tense. So let everything go. Soften and just surrender to the stretch. And use your slow breathing techniques to help you to relax. 20 seconds to go. Very nicely done. All right, let's come out of that stretch and back just to your supported bridge with both knees bent. Now, if it feels okay for your back, you can try straightening both legs out and just let your toes turn out. Relax the front of both hips. If you feel pain in your lower back, then this stretch is not for you. And as I mentioned before, these hip flexor muscles actually attach onto your lower back. So when these are really on stretch, sometimes it pulls on your lumbar spine. And if you feel too much tension there, then maybe just do one leg at a time or just keep your knees bent. And we'll just hold here 5 breaths. Two more slow breaths. Great job. Bend the knees. Prepare to come off of the block. So push into your feet. Lift your hips up. Slide the block out. Roll your hips back down to the floor and hug the knees up toward the chest. Now, a really nice stretch to do after this is Happy Baby. So with Happy Baby, we want to bring our feet right up toward the ceiling. We separate our knees and we pull our knees down toward our armpits. And we can grab here behind the back of the legs, or we can reach the hands up to the bottoms of the feet. So you decide. Our feet aren't in like this. They're straight up to the ceiling, and you're driving your knees down toward your armpits. You can rock a little side to side, and it's a wonderful release for the lumbar spine. Just a couple more breaths here. Beautiful. And then lower your feet down to the floor. Now, if you like figure four stretch, stay on your back, and we'll do figure four. If you like pigeon, just roll yourself over so that you can get into your pigeon stretch. So I'll give you about 10 seconds to get into position. You can start with either leg that you'd like to start with. And then you have a 1 minute stretch for a hip opener. So we'll start that now. And just close your eyes, relax and breathe. Find a comfortable edge. So these stretches are great to do during a practice where we've done a lot of glute work and hip rotation, like with our clamshell and those leg raises and pushing back. All of that tightens up the glutes. So we want to spend some time releasing and stretching. And we have 10 seconds on this side. And one more breath. And then take about 15 seconds to transition to the other side. Maybe do a little bit of movement in between. Then either your figure four or your pigeon or any other hip opener you'd like. And we'll begin that starting now. It's always interesting to notice differences between the sides and what you're feeling. Not in a judgmental kind of way, but just in a recognizing it kind of way. Just observing. I like to use the sinking breath with these stretches where you inhale maybe a count of 3 and then exhale twice the duration, maybe a count of 6 or even 8. Oh, we are almost done on this side. Let's take 2 more breaths. And then let's come out of that stretch. If you just did pigeon, then roll back over onto your back and we'll be all back in a reclined position. We'll take our feet and our knees wide for windshield wipers. So we're just going to slowly but dynamically move the legs from side to side. It's a nice dynamic release for the hip flexors. And if you have tight quads like I do, I feel this a lot in the front of my thighs. So when my knees go over to the right, my left quad goes, and then when my knees go to the left, my right quad, not quite as much, but I definitely feel it. And then we want to do a hold for this. So the next time the knees come to the right, hold it. And this is the one where you can bring the right ankle and set it on the outside of that leg just to give it a little bit more pressure down into the stretch. You don't have to. If that bothers your knee or anything else, no worries. Let's hold this stretch. And we can also stretch the upper body here. Maybe take the arms into goalpost or out like a T and relax through the pecs and the shoulders. Find a nice relaxing breathing pattern. And we'll hold here another 15 seconds. If you have the foot on, you can remove that. And before we hold the other side, I want you to go back and forth 2 more times each direction. And mostly just to relax your lower back. And then we'll come all the way over to the left side and hold. Option to bring the left foot up on the outside of the knee. Well, this is nice. My little ball is right underneath my left knee. That's perfect. It just slipped itself right underneath there to support my leg. And maybe stretch the upper body as well. We have about a 1 minute hold. This one feels completely different on this side. I don't have nearly the stretch in the quad. But that's okay. I'm getting equal benefit on both sides. Just a couple more breaths. And then remove the ankle. Let's go back and forth 2 more times each direction, just to relax through the lower back. And then come back to center. If your lower back is bothering you, you might want to keep your knees bent for this one, or we can straighten the legs and see how that feels for you. We're going to inhale the arms up, and then exhale, hug the right knee up to the chest and lift your head and shoulders up off the mat and try to compress your low back down into the floor. And we'll alternate sides. So stretch. Left knee comes up. And then just do this at your own pace. And if you'd like to, when the knee is up, you can circle your ankle or flex and point your ankle, and then change when you're ready. If your neck gets tired, don't worry about lifting your head up. You can do this with the head down throughout the entire progression of the work. And then we'll do 1 more on each leg. Finishing on the left. And then let's come into Supta Baddha Konasana. So bring the soles of the feet together and allow both knees to open out and relax toward the earth. Your feet can be any distance away from the pubic bone as you feel is comfortable. So you can bring it in close, you can make it more of a diamond shape. Just find a nice, comfortable, relaxing hip stretch. And take some deep breaths. Then we're going to apply a PNF technique. So for 3 counts, I want you to tighten the muscles of your glutes and try to push your knees down to the floor. So we'll inhale to prepare. Exhale, push the knees open. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Just breathe. And we'll do that again. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, push the knees open, tighten the glutes. 3, 2, and relax. One more time. Inhale. Push the knees open. Exhale, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Now slide the right leg to straight, so it's like you're in a tree pose. So your right leg is straight, your left foot is to the inside of your right thigh or the lower leg, and you're just letting your left hip open out. And we can take tree arms, reach them and stretch them above the head or directly out to the side. Tighten your right leg. Flex your right foot like you're standing in a really solid tree. And then we'll switch legs so your right knee bends back in. Your left leg slides out straight. We're in our tree pose. And we can take tree arms, stretching up. Or hands can be at your heart. Tighten the thigh muscles of your left leg. Flex your foot like you're standing in a powerful tree pose. And just kind of visualize that in your mind's eye, standing up in tree with perfect balance. And then bring both feet back together into Baddha Konasana, butterfly. Pause there for another couple of breaths. And then let your knees close together. Pull them up toward the chest one more time. Stretch your lower back. Rocking side to side if that feels great. Or make some circles with your knees. And then take your time to come up to a comfortable seat. You can roll to your side or you can roll straight up. If you need to sit on a block or a blanket, feel free to do that so that you can open your hips a little bit more or just extend the legs straight out. So just find a comfortable place here. Close your eyes. And just pause for a moment just to call to mind something or someone that you're especially grateful for today as we prepare to close our practice. And then we'll take a breath together. As the LisaBug community is united virtually, we'll stretch, press the palms together, drop the thumbs into heart center as we pause to celebrate our hard work today. We pause to celebrate just that dedication that we have to the health of our spirit, mind, and body, and the dedication to the LisaBug community and all of our wonderful members. And the joy that resides within my heart honors the joy in the hearts of each of you. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me today. Great job. Oh, there's a little note up on my screen. I'm going to go take a look at it in case it's from one of you guys. And I'll turn my recording off. Oh, interesting. It says your authentication session has expired. Maybe that means it logged me off. No, I'm still recording. Okay, we'll log off then here.